I'll give it a shot now.
Perfect. I clicked the button and broke it. I've been known to do that. So yeah, from my childhood, I guess it was kind of ingrained in me to be a Michigan fan, even though none of my family really went to college or anything. Here from like 2004 maybe, that's Chad Henne on the cover of the newspaper, which I read a lot growing up. I'm from Chesterfield, Michigan, which is like here. There's a lot of lakes around me, so I grew up on the water. Didn't really make me interested in boats though, so I wasn't like wanting to come here to go into naval architecture. And then my first college football game ever was in 2011, which for those of you who know Michigan know that we've only beaten Ohio State like once in the last 20 years, and it was that day. So I thought I would be able to break our curse when I came here as an undergrad. No. So then growing up, I realized that I actually needed to apply to college, and I didn't like writing essays, so I only applied to 5 schools, and 4 of those did not require essays. You can guess which one did. This is the only known picture of me on a boat, which is pretty ironic. But the biggest thing was that, like, when I got accepted into Michigan, I wasn't going to immediately accept it, even though I really wanted to come here, because of this school, Rochester Institute of Technology in New York. What many people don't know about me is that I'm like severely hearing impaired, and here they have a school called the National Technological Institute for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing, and they were offering me a lot of money to study engineering there. So that was kind of like a tough debate for me and my family, whether I wanted to go 5 hours away to New York or stay here in Michigan. It's only 5 hours because you can drive through Canada. Otherwise, it's like 12 hours to get there, which for the last 2 years would have sucked because we couldn't go through Canada. In the end, I chose to come to Michigan, and all I knew was that I was good at math and science, so I wanted to go into engineering. I had no clue what type of engineering. You know, a lot of people in my family have worked in the auto industry, so I thought maybe mechanical or chemical. And so what was the first thing I did when I came to Michigan? I learned how to cook. In Engineering 100, there was a class called Food Science and Engineering. And I was like, okay, this sounds fun. Maybe I'll learn something about chemical engineering. And instead I learned how to bake giant cookies and make candy corn. So it was really cool. But then when we actually started learning about chemical engineering, I was like, I don't like this so much. So I was also taking this class called Engineering 110, which for those of you who don't know, throughout the class, throughout the semester, they bring in the different departments like aero and mechanical and naval to give presentations. And when the naval department, when Kevin Mackey came in to give a presentation about our department, I was like, ooh, boats are cool. Maybe I should go talk to him. So I went and I talked to Warren actually, and everybody knows Warren. He had me from the beginning. And luckily that winter semester of my freshman year, they were offering a class that I could have taken before I had even taken a name class. And it was actually Dr. Mackey who taught it. It was called The Physics of Sailing. It was a great class. They should offer it again for people that don't know about sailing or just want to learn more about NAME. And we took it at the MHL in the conference room while everything was being renovated. And the conference room, as you know it today, didn't exist. We had like 12 desks in there, so you could barely move. But somehow that made me want to come to NAME even more. I don't know. So now, for the last few years, we've had our fun times. I'm actually really bad at like taking pictures in important moments in my life. So my first summer I spent down in Virginia Beach, which of course means that the only picture I have is from Washington, D.C., which is 3 hours away. This is a picture actually from after one of our lunches here. Junior year, we had like 30 minutes between class and lunch. So we always just literally sat there and did nothing because we were juniors, so we had no productivity. This is us all looking at our future boss, Maggie, in Cleveland. And then after graduation, we got a good picture of Dr. Collette, me and Adam. We were working as part of his lab for the past year and a half, so we thought it would be a good way to finish that up. And now we're still working as part of his lab, so some things can't change. And then this summer, I worked for Chevron shipping, and I got to spend like a month in California, which was cool because I had never been to California before. And I'm here to tell you that the pictures that you saw last week of the clear skies and the Golden Gate Bridge were a complete lie. I saw the Golden Gate Bridge like 5 times, and this was the same scene all 5 times. And yeah, it was cool. I got to spend a lot of time out on the bay. One of our coworkers had a sailboat, so they invited me out, and it was fun. I'd never been sailing before. And then what's next for me? I'm gonna complete my master's degree, hopefully this year. And right now the plan is to stay as part of Dr. Collette's lab. I was gonna be staying with Adam, but he's abandoning me, so I'll be alone for the next 3 years with just the fellow PhD students. And then, yeah, what to take, anything can happen. I never know what's gonna happen in my life. I kind of just make sporadic decisions and things happen. So yeah, and thanks for listening. Had to include the greatest meme in this department. Are there any questions? Yes, Lisa.
Do you have any idea what you want to do after your?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. I need you to know that the physics of sailing course was developed as a way to steal smart students from LSA. It didn't really achieve that objective, but we got you, so we consider it a success.
Hey, I think Charlie was also in that class, so you got 2 people.
Okay, we got 2.
Oh, and Ben, we got 3.
So you liked it?
I thought it was fun, but that also might have been because I was struggling in every other course that semester.
Yeah, we should bring it back.
Yeah. Anything else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Brendan, for that wonderful presentation. We're gonna get it set up for our next one from Diego.
So just click anywhere on the PowerPoint presentation to escape.
I mean, I guess I could share. I mean, you weren't, I don't think, you thought a little bit more about it, but I chose my undergrad major, the one I started with, by like the coolest looking one in the drop-down menu. When I was applying, so similar strat, yeah. It worked out.
There was no work for nuclear engineering. So I said, that name starts with N, so probably the same thing. That's why I ended up here.
Put all this thought in getting you guys, and then it's all right.
Hi everyone, my name is Diego. I'm new to Michigan. I'm in my master's student first, and I think only a year. I'm doing this master in 1 year. So for me, name was not up until recently. So I wanted to take the advantage of talking to you about my cultural experiences over my years. So I put my 2 last names because of this. My father and his family are from Lebanon, and my mother is from Italy. So we are all mixed up. I was born here, Venezuela. I think we have another from Venezuela here, Sonia, in undergraduate, the school, in '97. So that means that I don't know if I should be a millennial or Gen Z, but that's okay. I can be both. I was born in the capital. This is a photo of the capital. This is a photo for, these are all very tourist pictures. I didn't take them, stolen from the internet. And being safe, you look at here, I was surrounded by the Caribbean Sea, so as a kid, my parents will take me to the islands nearby. And we are a lot of like beaches, so that was an incredible time for me. And as a kid, and still is. In 06, we moved to Mexico, to the capital. Fun fact about the 06, I moved the same day Italy won the World Cup. I'm a soccer fan, so that was cool. Again, some pictures I saw from the internet about Mexico City. I only saw these two monuments like 2 times in the 15 years I was there, but they're still amazing. Mexico City is an amazing place to live, not to live, to visit. And here it's interesting because I entered my high school, it was a Japanese institution. So it had a Japanese culture education. I don't really know about the language right now. I kind of forgot it, but I still have some things that I know. So all those 12 years, 10 years, I think, of high school were very incredible. I have some pictures from that time. I was in the guitar club and also the swimming team. So I always looking to join like the Navy or Coast Guard or do that time of training, only because of the training mostly. So I didn't do it, and I chose the closest thing that it was swimming team. I say this because it was like 4 hours every day. it was crazy. One of my trips that I took in my high school was to Japan in 12th. We visited many temples, Tokyo, other temples, I forgot where they are. But I mean, it was a very interesting trip that I took. And I'm telling you this because being from Venezuela, having my family from other places, migration, Mexico, Mexican people, Japanese people, it's like a whole mix of many different and very diverse cultures, no? Languages, and also talking about adapting to many places. So this was a very amazing trip that I took. I got the chance to take. And then after graduating, I moved to Italy. I started in the Politecnico di Milano. I started my bachelor there in mechanical engineering. Why I chose mechanical engineering, I also was like good in math and physics, and I just thought in Mexico and in my countries, we don't hear about naval architecture. We hear about mechanical and industrial, or maybe civil. So mechanical seemed like a good choice. It was very broad, very big. And I got the chance to be here. It was a 3-year program for the bachelor. Sadly, I had some health issues that forced me back to Mexico. But it was a really cool time. I got to see a lot of people and take a bunch of pictures. I was living there in Milan. This is a trip I took once from the north all the way to the south. This one is Piazza San Marco in Venice. And I think I took this trip before starting school, and Venice really astonished me because of all the boats that I saw and water. And I told you, all my life I've been like my family going to the beaches, going to places in Mexico, whatever, swimming. So I have more pictures of some boats that I have from there. And yeah, this was a really amazing experience for me. Then I came back to Mexico and I did my bachelor mechanical, and the program was a joint program, mechanical and electrical. And this was my university. This is the whole university. So it's not only a campus or a building, it's just, that's it. And we have like all the classes were there. Very different from here that all the cities like the university, no? Here it's one of the 10 universities that we have in Mexico City. And during my bachelor, I participated in many projects. I did all sorts of, did a wind turbine once, a lot of hands-on works, and also a lot of trips to like nuclear plants. And I was reaching my senior year, and I started to ask myself, like, what am I gonna do with this degree? My options there to work, it was really sad because when Uber came to life, they released an statistics like saying how much do first year entry-level engineers make versus how much Uber drivers make in a year. And I saw that comparison and said, like, okay, I could have studied something else. I actually got a job in a retail store with Louis Vuitton. And it was crazy because it was twice as much as I could have gotten if I were to study an internship or a part-time job in engineering. That was really sad. So I just decided I had to leave, find something else. And this was a project that I did in my second semester. This was, I think, my cherry on top of the cake to decide what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to put all my mechanical things into the water. I love the water. I think both are cool. And this is a yacht that I did. I did that in Inventor, I think. It wasn't really, the idea was to like study the structure of the maze and all of those. I just did it because of it looks very cool. It didn't work any of the simulation that I was expecting. But this was, I think, from that point on, it was in 19, I started to look onto naval programs, naval architecture, marine engineering. I also have, and during my bachelor, I was part of the society, like equal to the quarterdeck here. We mostly have like the Formula races, some projects that I participated in. I had short hair. This is because of COVID. A nuclear plant that we visited over there in Mexico. And yeah, this is another experience that I had the chance to make in Cozumel, some scuba diving. So all of these like directed me towards naval, to the naval world, to the marine, to the naval world. So then we got the chance to come to the United States. I was like, okay, where can I study this? And as a master's, I think you probably know there are like only 3 places to go for this specific program. I only applied to one of them. In this program, I applied to another one in Florida. That's where my family lives. It was like ocean engineering. They didn't like because I was talking about making boats, and they said, no, we don't make boats here. Okay. I got the chance to come here to Michigan. I really appreciate it. And now I'm here doing my master, hoping to finish it in 1 year. Yeah, I don't know why. But yeah, this is me. This is where I come from, how I am. I was hoping I don't know what's gonna happen next. It's only 1 year, so I was looking like opportunities to join like a PhD program, but also I don't really have experience in the work, so I would like to earn that first before pursuing another academic program. Yeah. Any questions?
How did you get into like the Japanese education school? How did that path happen?
So in '05, I think my dad moved to Mexico, and then he pulled us over, and he was looking for schools because I was 9 years old, and my two little sisters, 4 and 6, I think, and he was looking for schools. Originally in Venezuela, I was in like a Catholic elementary school, a Catholic institution. So he was looking for something like that. He didn't like it, so he went to the right next door. It was another school. It was a Japanese. And he said, "Oh, cool, yeah, okay." Eventually, my sisters moved. They didn't like the Japanese school. They moved to a French one, and I hate French, so I got stuck in there. Also, it was for only girls. They didn't have the chance to
How
change.
many languages do you speak?
Italian, English, and Spanish. Japanese, like, I'm watching a lot of anime currently, so I'm getting the hangs of it again. But it's crazy because it's very different from like all the symbols. Just gets mixed up.
Is that I guess sort of common in Mexico City? Like you got Japanese, you got French schools. Like are there just I guess different cultural schools?
Yeah,
in Mexico City?
yeah, I think it's very common from from Mexico to Argentina, because we are a mix of everything. No, we have the Spanish colonials, and I don't remember what year, and then like in Brazil, the Portuguese, and then with the First and Second World War, a lot of migration. Hence why my grandfathers moved to Venezuela from Europe, Lebanon. And so I think all these settlements starting to place in each state are all around the continent. And the Japanese, it's interesting because it's I know this story. It's about like 500 years ago. Some Spanish people were trying to sail from here to find Asia. I don't know what they went to do. There was like a storm or something. I don't remember the name in English for naufrage. Naufrages? Yeah, shipwreck. There was a shipwreck in the coast of Japan. Japan was closed for everyone, but this little town, they helped the Spanish people to feed, they fixed their boat, they sent them home. And afterwards, the Japanese came to Mexico. They came right here to Acapulco. And then they started selling here, they brought rice. And so they started there we have a lot of, a good settlement of Japanese people there. And so the embassy came, then they're starting to founding a lot of schools. In Mexico City, there's that one. And yeah, the same happened with like the French, with the French war that we have in Mexico. Mostly wars and rescues, but that's the story. I think that's why there's a lot of schools in there. And also, if you know anything about Mexico, it's like everything is concentrated in the capital. We have like 20 million people. So we have, everyone goes to the capital and they start founding schools and jobs. And mostly there are many institutions from the Britain. So the English institutions that then they have connections to move to England or even here in the United States. But yeah, this is like the whole background in Mexico City.
So you've visited a lot of places, lived in a lot of places. Is there like when you're done, is there somewhere you want to go? Somewhere back to, or somewhere you haven't seen yet?
Well, before knowing that I was gonna come here to the States, I was looking to a program also in naval architecture, but it was in Norway. And I was really liking, I wanted to apply to that. then I got the chance to come here, and it was closer than my family. So I said, okay, I can be here, work around. Actually, last year that I was applying to all the universities, I looked into that one from Norway, and they canceled that program. So I say, okay, destiny. So I think that's, I don't know if I want to go there to live. Certainly would like to visit. My dad is a travel agent, so he has had the fortune to visit like all around the world. And I would like to also take some cool pictures everywhere, not just steal them from the internet. And if I can, there's one program that I would like to do in the future that is also in Politecnico de Milan. It's in judge design. It's a master in judge design. So that will be, I think that's cool.
That's cool.
Mhm. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Oh, I forgot. I did find pictures of boats. Yeah, so these are some super cool yachts that I saw in Venice. Of course, at that time, I didn't know what was a boat. I just knew it float. So I was just astonished by how it looked like this, like how can you not like this? This thing here is amazing. These are only things that I saw, but here I got the chance to go to Alaska with my family. So we were there in this cruise. Also here in the Caribbean, it was some cool boats that I was in. This is the Panama Canal, and I have some family there. Also, if you don't know, in Venezuela, like everything fall because of the government, so everyone migrated, including me and my family. So I have family in Panama and all over, which is kind of cool because you can say, oh yeah, I have a cousin that lives in Australia, but you don't get to see them. So I went to Panama and I saw this, I think this is a barge. I don't know. I'm just getting acquainted to all the naval terms. And I saw it crossing, it was really cool. And this ferry from Vancouver. Yeah, I found pictures from boats for you guys. Thank you.